So welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. I got the excavator all cleaned up. I didn't get too carried away. Sometimes, you know, I'll pull the mats out of the inside, armor all everything. I'll even clean the bucket and the blade, but this is just kind of a quick wash. You got to do that every once in a while. Got it greased up and fueled up, but I did forget one thing. I'm going to take care of that right now. This pin right here, this is what holds the bucket on. There is not a grease fitting on that because, you know, the pin comes in and out when you change buckets. So we're going to put a little grease on that. And I don't think I missed a one. What I did, I had Melissa sit in the cab and should move the boom or stick or bucket, whatever I needed. Saved a lot of time with two people. But there's a lot of grease fittings on this machine. I'm not sure how many there are. I'll have to count them all sometime, but there's a bunch. So when I was sweeping out the cab and cleaning the windows, I noticed this door was squeaking a little bit. The hinges were a little dry. So I thought that would be a good opportunity to try out the Blue Creeper. Synthetic multi-purpose lubricant, penetrates, lubricates, protects. A little does a lot. It doesn't take much at all. I had never used this before, but if you remember a week or so ago, I bought that little trailer. It's a Logrite trailer, and I bought it at the Boonville show. And Logrite, they sell this stuff, Blue Creeper, and they gave me a bottle when I bought the trailer. This is just 1 fluid ounce, but yeah, they're not kidding. A little bit goes a long way. Seems to work pretty good. I also filled up the GMC with DEF, diesel extortion fluid. I'm up to about 450 hours on the excavator, and it's kind of funny. When I bought this, I remember saying I figured I'd put about 200 hours a year on it, and that's about exactly where I'm at. It runs like the day that I got it. I kind of enjoy taking a couple hours, you know, and cleaning up a machine and greasing it, kind of going over it and just making sure everything's ready to go. I don't know why, I just like that. I don't get too carried away on keeping them clean. There was a guy I used to know, Melissa's dad was real good friends with him. His name was Butch. He passed away several years ago, but he did excavating, and it was old school, 580 case backhoe, no mini excavators or skid loaders, anything like that. But Butch, I never saw anyone take better care of a piece of equipment than Butch. No joke. When he was done each day, he'd bring it home, had a big building, he'd pull it in and he'd wash it every single day. And he'd run that machine, I think he kept him for 2 years, and then he would trade him in on a new one. And he always got a good buck for him when he traded him because he took such good care of it. But there were actually guys that would be like on a waiting list, waiting for Butch to trade his hoe so they could go buy it. But yeah, everything's kind of changed. Back then, rubber-tired backhoe, that was kind of king of the hill until these mini excavators and skid loaders came along. And you just don't see as many. They're still out there, but I don't think they sell near as many rubber-tired backhoes as they do mini excavators and skid loaders like they do today. All right, we're out here on the little clearing project, but take a look at this beautiful red oak right here. Straight as an arrow. This will make a nice saw log right here. It's about 26, 27 inches in diameter at this end, but the small end probably about 20. This is a 12 or 13 footer right here. But red oak is a pretty impressive wood when you think about it. I mean, look how fast these things grow. The distance between those growth rings, yet it is a very dense, very hard, very heavy wood, and it grows pretty quick, really does. So I got that saw log there. All this is going to be for firewood. You may be wondering why they're laid out like this right here. What I'm going to do later on is probably bring the split fire log splitter out on the excavator and kind of downsize these. I have a log lift on the split force, but it's just so much easier kind of breaking these down to a more manageable size, because like I said, this red oak is very heavy. I'll make it worth the while though. I've got some big maple and some more oak out here. I'll get a whole bunch out here, and then we'll split them all, you know, cut them in half or quarters or thirds, whatever, just to make them a little bit more manageable. But there's a lot of wood in that one tree, and this will all be for hopefully next winter, not for this coming winter. No way this red oak would dry for this year. Even next winter would be questionable, but if you split it small, it'll be good to go. So I got everything limbed out down to about 4 inches probably. I'm gonna get on the excavator now, clean up all the brush. I'll probably just stack it right over in there, and I'll get everything laying the same direction. So when I get another burn pit, probably, or a burn pile somewhere over in there, I'll be able to just grab the whole pile like with the grapple on the skid loader. So we'll get the brush picked up, and then I'll pile all these up over in the firewood pole. But yeah, like even this stuff right here, this is 13, 14 inches in diameter, some of these limbs right here. A lot of wood there. All right, we're gonna gather up some brush here. But I'll tell you what, it is a beautiful day right now. It looked like it was gonna rain for a little bit. There's nothing on the radar, but it's very nice and cool. I mean, I don't even think it's gonna hit 70 degrees today. In the next week and a half or so, they're not really calling for any rain. But it definitely feels like fall today. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is just stack this stuff up right here. This isn't gonna be where I burn, but I'll be able to grab it with the skid loader. I was reading an article this morning, I think it was from Forbes, about oil prices. I just filled up the GMC last night, and I haven't been paying a lot of attention the last couple weeks, but the one place where I get fuel, it was about $4.29 a gallon, and last night when I filled up was $4.79. So I kind of looked things up today, and an article came up about, you know, could oil prices hit $300 a barrel? And it was kind of weird because I went back to look for that same article, and there was like 5 or 6 articles talking about it, but most of them were from 2022, but there's a current one from Forbes talking about it again. Not really because of the Russia thing. That's what they were talking about in 2022. They said, you know, if you take Russian oil off the market, oil could hit $300 a barrel. But I don't think Russia ever really missed a beat. They just kind of quit selling it to, or they started selling it to other countries. That oil's still on the market. Now, more like an inflation thing. They're thinking it may go up, and also, hold on a second here. The more that we try to get away from oil, the more it's going to cause the price to go up. You think supply and demand, I don't know, but 300 bucks a barrel, that would probably mean about $7 for a gallon of diesel fuel. Hopefully it doesn't get to that. And then you have this winter's coming up, so everyone's going to be getting their home heating oil. My solution is just going to keep cutting firewood. That's literally the one thing that helps me keep my sanity. I don't know why, but I have always liked just cutting wood, and it's like money in the bank, you know what I mean? Especially stuff like this oak. You know, I'm cutting this stuff now, and it is not going to be ready to go for over a year. Sometimes I use the blade to kind of cram this stuff into a bit of a pile. And grab a whole bunch at once. This thumb, probably 5 or 6 times a week, I'm connected to something here, 5 or 6 times a week I get a comment or an email or a message about this rake on here. So I just filmed a short to tell everybody what it is again, but it is a Werk Brau, and it is 24 inches. 24-inch Werk Brau rake. And it works fantastic. It works with the thumb that I already had on the excavator. I'll bring it in here so you can see. Lines up nicely with it. You can pinch stuff, grab stuff. I use it for, you know, cleaning up brush like this, moving logs. Works great for digging stumps as well. You know, when you think of rake, you don't think of something like real heavy duty, but this is an extremely well-built rake. You can wrench on big stumps with it and not have to worry about bending anything up. I mentioned the other day, it looks like we're going to have a bumper crop of acorns this year. Same with chestnuts. We have those Chinese chestnuts over in the yard. They're loaded up. Walnut. It's going to be a good year for the squirrels and the deer and that kind of stuff. That one's kind of still connected there. Things are starting to shape up around here though, meaning we're slowly getting caught up on stuff. It doesn't always appear that way, but things are actually coming together pretty good to be ready for winter. The West Virginia thing though, that's the up in the air one. We're going to get the pad poured for the shower house. That'll be coming up soon. Matter of fact, Tom Haas from Concrete with the Hosses, he just texted me a little bit ago. I got to talk to him about that. And plumber Jim and I are going to go down at some point here in the near future, put the plumbing in under the slab, and then we can get the shower house finally. So I'm a little behind on the West Virginia thing, but here at the house, we're actually in pretty good shape. In the next week or so, we'll be doing a video on the inside of the building. I'm finishing up the bathroom and working on the kitchen, and it's coming out really, really well. And we should be done completely with that pretty soon. And we'll be having Hannah's baby shower in there coming up, but that has been quite the project. I was telling someone the other day, the frustrating part is it took all this time for me to get good at it. Like all that tongue and groove and stuff, I've done all that before, but right towards the end, I got so much faster at it and just learned little tricks and things that made it so much easier. Like if I were to ever do it again, it would go way faster than this last time. But we probably put up somewhere around, I don't know, 3,500, 4,000 square feet of that tongue and groove. I'm not even sure. It's a lot. And putting it up's really not that big a deal. Just all the staining and sanding, but I actually kind of enjoy it. I just go over there in the evenings. Very seldom do I work over there during the day. There's usually something else going on, but let's go over there in the evenings and get done what you get done. And it's relaxing, and I really enjoy it. I do. Get that done, get the cabin done, and we'll be ready to build something else. Now I think I got most of the limbs out of there. Next up, we will stack the firewood stuff over there, and we'll cut some more big rounds. And then I can put the splitter on here. I always like to smash this down. Nice compact pile. And no, I'm not going to chip it. What I just stacked up right there, I don't know, how long do you think that would take to chip that? 5 or 6 hours? You know, with a small chipper. Next time you see that, I will be carrying it with a skid loader on top of putting it on a big fire, and it'll be gone. Another scammer call. Gather up just a little bit more of this small stuff, see what we can do. It's funny how during the winter you can't wait till spring, and then when spring comes you can't wait till summer. Then at least for me, after a month or two of that, I'm ready for fall. That's one thing nice about living here. Don't get me wrong, we don't have the best weather, but as soon as you get sick of one season, it changes. I like that. All right, I got a bunch of big rounds kind of staged out there. I was gonna go get the split fire right now, but I actually have a few other things I have to do. I'll probably add to that in the next day or so. If I have time this evening, I'll come back out, or tomorrow morning, and we'll get a whole bunch ready to split. But I tell you what, it is so nice. I don't know, it just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy when you have a machine. You get it all cleaned up, fueled up, greased. It's like you're just ready to start fresh again. I don't know, but I mentioned at the beginning of this video, 450 hours on this, and somehow, I probably shouldn't even say this because I'll smash something tomorrow, but no dents so far in 450 hours, and the only scratch, and I wouldn't even call it a scratch, is right here on the counterweight. It's not through the paint or anything, but that's the only mark right here that I saw on this when I was cleaning it up.
You see some of those rental machines. It's crazy what people do to them. Other thing worth to mention, the 500i was just screaming today. I put that new light bar on it that I bought at Boonville. I really like it. Balanced really nice. That's a 25-inch bar. But yeah, this thing is fast. Really fast. But I have been rambling on long enough today, so I think we'll wrap this up. But before you go, let me know in the comments what fuel prices are in your area. Like I said, diesel's up to $4.79 here. Also, if you didn't see that video from this past Sunday, check it out. I'll put it up above. What else? Check us out on X. We are over 2,000 followers or whatever now. I think 2,300. It's growing pretty fast. I like that platform. It's definitely, we're not leaving YouTube or anything like that, but I like posting pictures and shorter videos on X. So if you're there, check it out. If you're not, that's fine too. And I think that's about it. Appreciate y'all being here, and I will catch you on the next one.